Take two.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 269. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is Ms. Evgeniya. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Hi there, Keith. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a real honor and privilege to have you on the show. You're supporting a good cause, making a new friend out of it. It's a win-win. And for people who want to know what the talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people that you can still mount to something. That being said, half hour, 45 minutes of your time. Say anything you want. Curse if you want to. Call me an asshole for messing up your name.
Never. It is so sweet, and I think it's very brave what you're doing. And I don't really care how you say my name, you know. Just don't apologize for this disability, and feel so brave and proud of your ambition and your interest in life, and I respect that. I think it's very good.
No, I appreciate it. You know, when I stop talking, I'm just biting my tongue because I think I bit my tongue in my. And so I now I'm swearing, part of my disability. But I think I bit my tongue while sleeping. So my tongue's now like swollen up. So it's kind of like, you know how you eat something and you feel like there's something on your tongue, but there's nothing really there?
Yeah.
I know, very professional.
And you keep biting on it and keep biting on it. It happens.
I know, very professional,
yeah.
Right?
Don't worry about it.
There's a couple things I want to talk about with you. I'm going to pass the show over to you. Like I say, supporting a good cause and making a new friend out of it. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is, when you were growing up, what can you tell us about your life growing up? And that's number one. And number two, when you were in high school and college, were you a study nerd or party animal?
Both. So I grew up in Bulgaria, in Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, and I was in the arts. My mom was an actress and my dad was a director, and I was very fortunate to sort of grow up in the theater. My mom has breastfed me in the 45th day in the theater because she had a running show, and everybody's like, take 1 year for motherhood, and she's like, what, 1 year away from shows? So she went to work right away, and it was very, very different, like we didn't have a lot of fruit, like we didn't have necessarily, or the country didn't have necessarily bananas, or like all the tropical fruits, and we were a little more spoiled because my parents were in the arts, so people respected that, and we were able to find things like that. But we had 2 or 3 TV channels with regular program. You can change or choose films, and it's small, but it's really beautiful, and it has a lot of nature within the city and within the country. So it's not like you're in the city or in the country. Sofia is surrounded by a huge mountain where you can ski like 40 minutes away from the city, and I love my friends. We always kind of pick one bar in the center of town where we meet, and nobody calls anybody. It's like, I'll be there at 5 and this corner we know where we can find everybody, and you kind of go to your own thing. And it was really cool. Summers, we have August off, so usually people take one more month off, and we go to a wild beach and we set up camps just with tents, like nothing around, and we could do big bonfires and parties and sunrise, and we steal corn and tomatoes and cucumbers from the fields on the back and then like roast them on the fire. Pretty cool. Very, very, very different, but it's hard because it's poor and the government is really controlling and what is the word? Corrupted by now. So it's really hard to live there. So I feel very lucky for being here.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about your college and high school years?
Oh my God, I was such a good girl. It's very. I was like sort of the mama girl. My sister was a troublemaker in that time. But I never did anything like too much, like I party too much or school too much. Kind of like did my own thing and floated around. But yeah, I'm not like a party animal, but I love it sometimes.
What about...
For sure.
I didn't mean to interrupt, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No, I was done.
What about, did you ever get the chance to do any sports? Were you athletic?
Yeah, I actually played piano in my first 8 years in a music school. It was kind of intense because my grandfather was, that comes before the sports. My grandfather was a conductor and loved classical music, so he taught me the notes before I knew the alphabet. So when we went to the music school for exam, I kind of knew how to play it and I could barely speak. So they decided I'll be a genius pianist because of this knowledge. It was like, it's not me, my grandfather taught me, like, Mom. But they were really forceful, like playing piano so long. Anyway, that was great. I got really great culture from the music. And then when I quit in 8th grade, I pretty much went and played everything wrong in my exam, even though I was playing like this an hour and a half by myself. So they kind of threw me out of the school, which was the first really bad thing I've ever did. So then I moved to sports and I was running and playing tennis for a year and a half. But then I totally oriented to acting and dance and but there was running and tennis for a little bit.
Well, before I ask you the next question, when you see, just trying to find a word that he does use, pianist, it's funny. Do you ever see the cartoon Animaniacs?
No, I haven't seen that.
I have to send you this skit. It's really funny. Because there's an episode where the kids are just sitting there and they had Beethoven come in. And Beethoven says, I'm a great pianist. But when he says it sounds like a pianist.
Oh, wow. It's funny.
So the kids are like, I hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. It's like, can he come again? And, I'm a great pianist. And it's like, okay, that's enough out of you.
That's not for kids, right?
No, it's a kid's cartoon.
It's just a
kid's cartoon, but it's kind of like, it's made by Spielberg. So they wanted to see how fast or how many things they can get past the censors. But it's really funny. I love Animaniacs.
Mm-hmm.
But
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
After the interview, I'll send it to you. It's really funny.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks.
Now, the next thing I was going to ask you was, did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids? Or are you not a human pyramid person?
Human pyramids. What do you mean? Like in acrobatics?
Yes.
No, I never went that far.
Do you?
I don't do a lot of acrobatics. Towers right over there. Sorry. I don't do. Yeah, I never did acrobatics. As far as that jumping I got was a tiger jump, and then I hurt my neck for a while. But I was in my acting school back home in Bulgaria, so I jumped. So the girls were jumping 3 people, and the boys were jumping 5 people. You know tiger jump?
No,
You probably do, but
what's tiger jump?
it's you put people on the ground, sort of like in a turtle position, next to each other like this, and then you have to run and jump like you're jumping in the water and jump over them, and then make a roll and be done with it.
Sounds like fun.
And dangerous. So the girls were jumping 3 people, and I jumped the 3 people, and the boys started saying, put one more person, and of course I was sort of like a tomboyish kind of a character, so I wanted to jump, and I jumped, and I was gonna finish perfectly, but I got scared in the last moment. I got into my head, and instead of just placing my hands and do the roll, I pushed the people and landed on my head. So I was in a little thing for
I'm glad you're
a few months. Yeah, me too.
Actually, there's something called something tiger pile. It might be similar.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
It might be similar. It's where you stand. You have a stack. You have like 5 people stacked on top of each other, and you run. You jump on a trampoline, and you jump over them. Is that what you were doing, or is it something else?
Yeah, there wasn't trampoline. It's just like running and then jumping.
Right, because the video I saw is called Tiger Pile, and it's a gymnastics thing where people stack on top, and then they would jump from the trampoline over. It's interesting. I can't find a lot of videos about it, but it's here and there. But
there's so many different.
No, absolutely. But for the human pyramid stuff, would you be interested in doing one?
I don't know. I don't think I think I've had a few injuries that made me just sort of, relax and be like, you know what, I really love to dance, and if I'm trying to jump in and do all these crazy things that I haven't trained for, then I hurt myself for a long time. I had 2 ACL, like 2 knee surgeries, and so I'm kind of very careful now.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just an idea. Maybe we can do one day, but I didn't mean to impose on you. But
yeah.
The next question I was going to ask you was, who influenced you to start your career, and how many years have you been acting?
As I said before, was definitely my parents. I grew up in the theater, even though at the same time, strangely enough, I was in music school for 8 years. But definitely I got the culture from my parents and the love for theater deeply, because I saw a show of my mom maybe 200 to 300 times, because they do that. The shows can go for 5 or 6 years in a row. So I knew every line of every character and every move. And even a few times I've saved the show, because I remember this one show with musical instruments, and one of the buttons of the instrument fell, and it's very important for the noise to come out for something else to happen. So it's a small theater, and I'm up on the balcony, and I the button, They're like, what? My mom was so angry, she can't believe. I'm like, passing from I'm like, the button, and then they found it, and everything worked great. So a few funny moments like that, or anyway, I mean, there are many, many moments. And then my dad was a director, so he was shooting a lot throughout Bulgaria. He is more like an artistic director. He gets a musician and does a film out of his songs for an hour. And I traveled a lot, and I was like the first tree next to the thing. Like very minimal little characters. But I was very young, and it's kind of like embedded within me. And then I was kind of very lucky that I got my first gig when I was 17 back home. That kind of made me quite famous, because we had a TV show for 3 years every night on the TV at 8 o'clock sharp. That was amazing. It was called The Masters of the TV, and it's live TV. 200 people are watching live TV constantly and catching all the mistakes, and then we kind of make fun of them and repeat, because there's a lot of those in my country. Because TV is educational as well. Like, you can't just put anybody there to do a show and talk whatever, it has to have some sort of educational purpose. So anyway, that was amazing. And then I started acting in different theaters and different shows, and I went to the Film Academy for 2 years. And then I was incredibly lucky to get a green card through my father and my mom, because she was the first reason and the first person to come to the United States. So I was on my seaside, where I told you, with the tents and all the tomatoes and corn and everything, and my mom called me and said, you want a green card, you have to be back like a month early from your seaside. And I said, I don't care for no green card, I'm staying. And of course she made me stay, she made me come. So I left right away, because once you get the papers you have to come. And I came, and the first day I went to Times Square, and I fell in love with it. I've never went back.
No,
I've traveled, but so here I've graduated the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I got the golden medal in school for Best Actress. Then I did their company, which is only 20 people chosen from the whole school. And we did 4 different plays in professional theaters, and that was amazing. And at the end of the company, I got an agent in a commercial, and a legit agent, actually, at the time. And I started working. I booked my first Off Broadway show, where I got my equity card, and just started building, the connections and the portfolio and the jobs, and became SAG member. And 3 years ago, I became a member of the Actor Studio, where out of 1,500 people, 3 got, or maybe 1,100, 3 got in, and I was the one to get in, and Ellen Burstyn was accepting the people. And the next summer, she called me and pretty much dropped my phone. And she kind of like, oh, would you mind if you play my daughter at the Cherry Orchard in a production of the studio? And I'm like, yeah. So that was an incredible experience. I did a show with her and played her daughter in the studio. And just been doing films and TV and whatever comes.
No, absolutely.
Oh, and I directed. That was my last year's really great new, I guess, career idea that can go along. I directed my first music video, from which came a production company that I created with my business partner, girlfriend, and then I wrote and directed my first short that I'm editing now, and I love. It's called Patrick, and that's it for now. In short.
No, it sounds amazing. Now I'm going to pass the show over to you, but the first thing I do want to promote, so I'm just holding my hands up like this so I know where to edit it. I need to come up with something better. But, the first thing I do want to promote is, and you should be honest, this is perfect for you if you want to learn, interact with your fans. And actually that's the next question I'm going to ask you in a little bit. But for people who want to interact with your fans, I'm on there. You should be on there. It's celebrityvm.com.
Oh, cool. Let me see.
And for
sweet. Oh, I'm just going to type it right here in the computer.
Oh, that's fine. And for
just so I'm...
No, go ahead.
Sweet. Thanks.
celebrityvm.com.
BM?
VM.
VM.com.
And
cool.
For people,
we need fans.
No, absolutely. For people who want to know what that is,
mm-hmm.
It's pretty much like you should be on there. I'm on there. If perfect example, you come across
video messages. I see it.
No, absolutely. It's a great website.
Yeah.
You come across it. You come across my profile. And I can say anything you want as long as it's not perverted. You can say, hey, today's my birthday. I'm getting married. My son likes impressions. My daughter does Mediano. Can you give her a recommendation? Can I get a recommendation from you? Just want to see how you're doing. For $20, I can say whatever you want. And you can pick the price for how much you want. You can do like $20 or something, and people can ask you anything you want. But there's stars from Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, House of Cards, professional wrestlers, dancers, cheerleaders, upcoming people like you and me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically celebrityvm.com. Prices vary. And next thing I was going to promote is lootcrates.com. Loot Crates for $14 a month. It's an online description box. So you pay the $14 a month, and during that time they will send you a box. You can pick a theme you want. You can get just shirts only. You can get pants. You can get socks.
With my promotional info on it?
Well, that's for you. If you want to earn extra money. That's Celebrity VM. Loot Crate just does a description box. So it's more of a collector's thing for Loot Crate. What is the? I have to look at them in depth, but Root? L-O-O-T. Crates.
Oh. Root. L-O-O-T.
Crates.com.
Crates. C-R-E. No, C-R. How do you spell it? Sorry.
I suck at spelling. Don't worry, it's got to be in
that's true. You could do it. So, Loot Crates, let's see.
So that's like for people who like collecting items and everything.
Oh, I see.
But I think you would benefit from Celebrity VM. And now going back to the show, I'm going to pass it to you. Was there anything you wanted to talk about? Anything you want to ask me? This is your time, after all.
I would want to hear, like, maybe what was your... first of all, I wasn't sure that I know exactly learning disability. It's just very interesting because, some people think that we have too many issues and problems, and when you see somebody with a real issue, then you start to, realize that you kind of have it all right, or easier than other people. So I'm really impressed by your kind of strength, and not, use that as an ability rather than disability. This is what I think you're doing by helping as well other people, and not be like ashamed or worried or spend too much time on the disability. But like, what is your like muse? Like, what is the thing that it drives you to? Yeah, like, what would you say to other people that might be, sitting in a shell and, worrying just because other people are mean and not,
Well, I would say my defect would pretty much be like, I'm like you, only I learn at a slower pace. So you may be at 10, I would probably be like a 5, because you can read a script and be like, okay, but for me, I would have to go back and read it about 3 to 4 times till eventually it sinks in. So I learn slower. I can't spell even if my life depended on it. I have dyslexic. I can't read that well. I can read a little bit, but if you tell me to read a book, it's not going to work. So I'm more of an audio person, and I learn hands-on. If you tell me to do something and you see you walk away, I'm going to forget. But if you take the time to show me, I learn hands-on, it will sink in more. So I learn at a slower pace. I suffer from depression, have poor social skills, and among other things. But I'm basically showing people, it's like, hey, I didn't go to college. People basically brush me to the side. But this is my way of showing people that even with having a disability, I can still amount to something. I can prove to you I can still amount to something. And
absolutely. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. And
keep going.
And I'm like, at the same time as I'm proving people wrong, I'm going to show you I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of disabilities or learning disabilities. But you should never give up, and you should prove to people, if you're very passionate, you should, prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you want to be, and you can overcome that.
I think this is such a great lesson for everyone, with people with disabilities or not, because today's world especially is so fast and such a standardized way of accepting things or reacting to things, and sometimes we forget the simplicity and what really makes us happy. And when did we put the norms that if you went to college, or if you didn't go to college, you're not worth. And I think that people go through different lifetimes. They have to experience what they have to experience here, and maybe that's your path, to show other people how strong you are, and that there are no limitations to anything. And you make your own books and your own videos and your own way of connecting to the world, and that's all that matters. And you should be accepted. There shouldn't be any, but people are, that's why we have global warming. Like, there's very little people that would really just sit down and try to, put time into that, but we don't care.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's really brave, and I completely support what you're doing, and just thumbs up. And I think you're a great person, and I hope this can reach as many people as possible and help to change other people's, confidence about themselves.
No, absolutely. Now, wrapping up, how can people follow you? Are you on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn?
Yes. Here I am. I'm gonna do So I believe on the Facebook is my name, Evgeniya Radilova, and it's spelled EVGENIYA .com. And this is both my name on Facebook and my website. I believe on Instagram I'm also Evgeniya Radilova. On Twitter, wait a second, I'm trying to be techie. So basically on Twitter should be E Radilova. I'm not finding it right now, but never mind. And pretty much I have everything on the website. If you go to evgeniyaradilova.com, you can see all the icons. I have an IMDb page as well, Evgeniya Radilova. And I'll be happy to connect with you all.
Now, wrapping up, I have a couple questions for you for off the air. For finishing up our interview, it was a real honor and privilege to have you as a guest.
Yeah, same here. Thank you, and good luck with everything. Keep me posted on how is everything going.